This is every level of a Muay Thai fighter explained. Now to keep things modern, they have either had to fight in one championship or RWS. Level 1, trash. Now how are you actually this bad? This category is reserved for fighters you've seen fight professionally on TV and you have no idea how they got that far. They fight with the skill level of a celebrity boxer and they always lose. Unfortunately, there are usually women in this category solely because of the talent pool isn't big enough to weed out all the shitty fighters. But due to claims of misogyny, I'll avoid singling these fighters out by name. Level 2 is just bad. Now this category is where fighters could probably beat you or me up, but that's as far as they'll get. And they might win 1 or 2 low-level fights, but they just don't have the talent to win consistently on big promotions. These guys usually do well in the regional scene, have some hype, only to get exposed by higher levels of competition. To put this metaphorically, these guys are like good college football players that never see success in the NFL. Some examples would be Edgar Tabarez, who unfortunately had to fight Rodtang his first fight. And then you got Luke Lessie, who consistently loses to every good fighter he's ever faced. Also, washed up fighters do go in this category as well, such as Liam Harrison before he retired. Level 3, mid. Now these fighters can also beat you and me up, but to the point that we would know not to fight them. This is the level that most pro fighters we see on TV are in. These guys have competitive fights, but never for a title. And if they do, they're not close to winning. Such as Alaverdi or Kulabdam. I'd even put Joe Nadawa in here as well, as these fighters can go on winning streaks and have good moments, but they're not very likely to become a champion. Now this level also includes prospects who are on the rise, but haven't had the chance to prove themselves. Like Asadullah, he may be good, but we just haven't seen proof of that yet. Level 4, good. Now this is where we start getting into scary fighters and top prospects. At the bottom of this level, you get guys like Ordakov, who's undefeated and he's had some good performances, but ultimately, we haven't seen him face a high level opponent, so we really just don't know. And at the top end, you have your #1 contenders like Nico, who's knocked out every single person he's fought, except for his one loss, which was to Nabil Anan, who's on track to be the best to ever do it. The determining trait for these fighters is if the champion for their current weight class just didn't exist, they would probably be champion next. And they may defend it once or twice, but they're missing a few things keeping them from the next level. And that's level 5, elite. Everyone at this level is or has been a champion. What separates them from just being good is at one point in their career, they were the best fighter in their weight class. Like Jonathan Haggerty, who was the Muay Thai champion until he ran into Rodtang. And he just couldn't beat him. They're good enough to reach the top, but not good enough to stay there for very long. Another example is Superbon, who destroys anyone whose name isn't Taiwan Chai. And you may be thinking, how are there 2 levels better than this? And well, let me explain. Level 6 is generational. Now, elite level fighters get to the top, but generational fighters stay there. These fighters have runs that define the sport, and they're guaranteed Hall of Famers. These are fighters like Rodtang, and although many people would say he's overrated, he's earned the right to be a generational talent. He's knocked out Takaru and stopped Haggerty. Some other fighters on this level would be Daniel Rodriguez, who's now 50-1 and holds the belt in RWS, or Alicia, who took the belt from Stamp and then went and had a baby, came back to take the interim belt, and then defended it 3 more times. You also got fighters like Chingiz Alazov, who has some of the most entertaining striking of all time, and he'd probably still have the kickboxing title if he didn't have a falling out with one championship. And I also have to put Superlek in this category as well. Even though he did just lose to Yuki Yoza, I feel like when really good Muay Thai fighters lose in kickboxing fights, people will take that away from their Muay Thai capabilities, which just isn't true. They're competing in a different sport. Superlek has only lost 1 time in a Muay Thai fight in 1 championship, and it was against Nabil Anan, who he TKO'd before. And lastly, you have level 7, GOAT status. These fighters aren't just better than everyone else, but they are significantly better, and also incredibly rare. Examples of them would be Prime Sanchai, who spent most of his career embarrassing anyone who'd take a fight against him. Then you got Diesel Noi, who's the Muay Thai legend that was forced into retirement while he was in his prime because he was simply too good. If there's any other argument for the GOAT of Muay Thai, they cannot match Diesel Noi. They told him, sorry bro, we can't have you holding the title too long. We need to give other fighters a chance. You have to retire. He is the GOAT. Then you also have fighters like Tenshin Nasukawa, who finished his career with a perfect 42-0 and even defeated Rodtang. Now, I don't think we have a solidified GOAT in one championships Muay Thai yet, but I predict that soon in kickboxing it will be Yuki Yoza, and in Muay Thai it will be Nabil and Pet Jija. I just can't see anyone beating them for a long time.